Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Secret Invasion from Marvel Studios. A Disney Plus show starring Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury doing a Nick Fury thing. But is he too old for the gig? Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys, books 1 through 9, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Not sure why he doesn't have the eye patch there. Maybe that's not really Nick Fury. I don't know. But the basic premise is Nick Fury comes back to Earth and he's fighting the Secret Invasion, which is the Skrulls. This was a thing in Marvel Comics where the Skrulls attempted to take over. They can shapeshift and they're pretty good at it. And then this is a scene where he confronts this guy and then the whole room is full of Skrulls. Say they all shape and they all look exactly the same. That's a pretty cool scene. And I gotta say, the music, the tone, it's hitting all the right notes. Nick Fury, I mean, he looks sufficiently grizzled. I don't know if Samuel L. Jackson, I think Samuel is in his 70s at this point. Don Cheadle apparently makes an appearance, so they've got some big star power. And an English actress, I forget her name, she's in it too. I'm not sure about her. So, I mean, it could be good. Here's the Skrull. The thing is, though, they kind of ruined the Skrulls in Captain Marvel. They portrayed them as the victims. So, are these going... The Skrulls were bad guys in the comics. This is starting in 2023. So this is really just a teaser. So we're not getting really any of the story. But in the comics, they were the bad guys. Here's a tagline. I'm the last person between them and what they really want. I'm not sure that really works. But other than that, I mean, it looks kind of cool. I'll say that. The thing about the Secret Invasion in the comics was, you know, you had this foe amongst the superheroes and amongst the populace that were screwing everything up, right? Because they can shapeshift. So you can imagine how that goes. But you're not going to have the heavy hitter. The whole problem with all these shows is you don't have the heavy hitters at Marvel Comics. See, in the comics, you could do it all the time, right? Oh, you're doing Secret Invasion? Yeah, you can have Spider-Man for a couple of issues. You can throw in Iron Man here and the Hulk there and Captain America there. You'd throw them all in eventually, and then it'd be a big finish with all of them. It'd be like dozens of characters, and George Perez would draw it. It'd be great. They're not going to do that. I mean, they're just not going to do it. Chris Evans is... I don't know if he's ever coming back as Captain America. They have a new Captain America. You can't do the same thing in comics that in the movies. Unless you make the characters timeless. You either recast or they keep coming back. So, you know, The Avengers was a comic that basically only sold well when Captain America was in it. Like, Cap would be in it, and everybody would love it, and then he'd leave for a while, and it would the sales would kind of go down. You'd get the second stringers. Thor wasn't always in it. In fact, I don't even remember last time he was in it. I haven't read it recently, but I know back in the 80s when I was reading Avengers regularly, it was really the B team. It was Hercules, Tigra, War Machine... you know, all the second stringers of Marvel. So, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson has star power, you can say. If he's going to be a one-man repel the invasion force, I don't really see how that works without the superheroes. But, okay, I guess you could try to make that work. I mean, I suppose it's possible you can come up with a storyline. But again, unless they graft the other characters in this, you have no heavy hitters. And that's why people would buy Marvel Comics. And in fact, I think Secret Invasion, part of the deal was the Fantastic Four was involved, and they haven't even been put in the MCU yet. In fact, the D20 thing, D23, where they announced all the Disney projects, conspicuously absent is the Fantastic Four announcement and X-Men. They're obviously not ready to redo X-Men yet, which is fine because that wasn't connected to this really, but the Fantastic Four was kind of connected to everything in the Marvel Universe, and they've kind of screwed the pooch so many times on the Fantastic Four. So then when you try to develop comics that segued into those comics, you're missing something. So, I mean, Nick Fury was a character that stood on his own back in the day, but he was kind of like a James Bond for comic book characters back when James Bond was popular. In fact, I think he was at a different comic book company that got co-opted by or got bought by Marvel, right? I think that's the way it worked. And then they retrofitted him into the universe with Captain America, and he was in World War II. But that was back in the 60s when a lot of characters like James Bond came out of World War II. Okay, you can't do that. I get that, but they also revealed he had part of the super soldier serum, not like a full blast, so he could stay young, and that's why he's still around. So anyhow, as these characters get older, it becomes more and more ridiculous that they're even still alive. But in the movies, I mean, okay, so you sideline Samuel L. Jackson by sending his character to space, and now you're bringing him back, but what was the last thing he was in? Oh, right. I guess it was... No, wait, was there another movie after Captain Marvel? Or was Captain Marvel the last thing I saw Samuel L. Jackson in? No, I guess he was in something else, too. I'm trying to remember what. I don't remember. But the point is, I don't know if he can carry this on his own without the other characters. Maybe? And is this worth buying Disney Plus for is the real question. So, like, again, part of the problem is they keep trying to do stuff in the comics without the heavy hitters from the comics that made the stories popular. So can this stand on its own without all the big heavy hitter comic book characters? I don't even know what the story will be without the superhero characters in it. It's just Nick Fury running around killing copies of people? I guess that's a show. I guess you can make that work, but you're going to have to introduce a whole bunch of other characters that aren't going to be superheroes. So how interesting are they going to be? I mean, they've already done big stories where the president, I mean, if you remember, I do because I really like the movie, Iron Man 3, they saved the president. And, you know, so what if this is a secret invasion of Earth, then everybody's in danger, including the president. I mean, the president was in danger from Hydra. This was part of the problem in comics. You kept upping the ante, and then it's like, well, now you got to tell a smaller story, and in the context of the gigantic stories you told before, they just don't seem important enough. And quite frankly, they kind of made, in my view, Nick Fury a joke in Captain Marvel with the whole eye thing. That was not good, in my view. So, I don't know. I guess this is going to tie into the movies, too. We'll see how it is. I mean, it starts next year, and I guess they're already talking about it now. It's a big name to be in a TV show, so I guess the streaming has that going for it, but again, who's the audience for Disney Plus? Samuel L. Jackson's kind of old. The audience for him, to me, isn't kids. I mean, I guess you could say, well, he was a Jedi and that was a whole thing. Yeah. But what he's most known for is saying the MF word all the time. And being in Pulp Fiction and being in a lot of other movies where he's basically like Jules from Pulp Fiction. And I get it. He's not that Nick Fury, although he's kind of right on the edge there. Kind of like there's Jules and then Shaft and then Nick Fury. He doesn't curse quite as much, I don't think. I don't remember if he cursed at all. I guess he did probably. I mean, he's not a bad actor, but I don't know if he can carry this now. Because when you're talking about a guy, he's going to be fighting Skrull. I mean, he's got to do some moves, right? And how old is he? I'm pretty sure he's in his 70s. Let's see. Samuel L. Jackson, IMDb. Born in 48. So, what does that make him? Let's see, 52 plus... Yeah, he's 74. I mean, don't get me wrong. For 74, the guy looks great. The guy looks great for 74. And it's true. Black does not crack. But that being said, he still has to punch guys. Still got to shoot guys. Still got to draw a gun. Still got to, do stuff. And he looks tired. He looks very tired in this footage. And then there's a lot of other characters that I've never seen before. So, and played by actors I've never seen before. So, are they going to be good? Okay, maybe. Maybe they will be. I mean, it's got his assistant from S.H.I.E.L.D. back. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who he is. So, I assume there's going to be the occasional cameo by supervillains and superheroes because, it is Marvel. Yeah, this is the woman from S.H.I.E.L.D. So, I mean, it's not like it's inconsistent or anything. I just don't know if Samuel L. Jackson can pull this off now. I mean, like, even this scene, as cool as this is, he's a main character, this guy? I don't know. Maybe they should have passed it off to a younger guy. Maybe he should have trained somebody. Maybe they should have recast. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, and then he's got the eye patch at the end of this thing. Does he get his eye back here and then lose it later? Or does he end up fighting like a Skrull version of himself? Because again, they kind of messed up the Skrulls. They kind of made them good guys. They kind of made them victims. Now they're going to be evil? I don't know. I'm very confused by this. Now, I'm kind of out of the loop on some of the Marvel stuff because I don't have Disney Plus. I wouldn't pay for it just to see this because so much of the other stuff seems crap. I don't want to see She-Hulk. I definitely don't want to see She-Hulk. I don't want to see Ms. Marvel. Moon Knight, I kind of, like if I saw an episode, I guess I'd be okay with it. But even that started to look like they were heading down the road of like, oh, yeah, this is about Moonlight, but here's the Scarab played by a woman. Isn't she better? So, I don't know. I mean, and yet they're not passing the torch with Nick Fury, and Samuel L. Jackson is like 74. And seems like he'd be in a better role as like the mentor. You know what I mean? Like a team of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, maybe? Something like that. Fighting a secret invasion. You could have some, some kung fu guys in there and guys with good moves. I just, it's the same problem with like Robert De Niro in The Irishman. Like, Robert De Niro's playing a role that he's played a million times, but even when they made him look younger in the face, his body movements they just weren't there. He was beating up a guy, and it was like he barely. It looked like a stuntman was throwing himself around. To me. So, I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not gonna watch it anyway. What's the story gonna be? I guess it's going to be Skrulls infiltrating the government and Nick Fury ferreting them out and killing them off one by one until, I don't know, he comes up with a plan to kill them all or drive them all out off the planet. Not sure how that's going to work. I forget what happened in the comic. It's a pretty old storyline. But, and I don't really have faith in the Marvel writers anymore. That's part of the problem, too. It'd be different if this was phase 1. I'd be psyched to see this, right? Oh my God. You'd be like, oh, they're doing a Secret Wars? This is going to be awesome. You know, they've had so many misses. Who'd they hire to write this? You know? I mean, look who they hired to write She-Hulk in it. Ugh. Blah. So, I don't know. The more I see stuff like this, the more I realize that most of Hollywood just doesn't get the comics. They just don't get it. You know, or they're actively trying to destroy them for whatever reason because they think everything needs to be woke and everybody needs to worship wokeness and progressivism. I don't know. I don't know. You tell me what you think of this. I'll say that the trailer looks good. I like the music. And Samuel L. Jackson doesn't look bad in it. It looks like it could be cool. I just don't have any faith in the MCU anymore. So, I guess you could watch it and tell me what you think. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. Thanks for coming out to the Veterans United Memorial Museum today, where I sold a bunch of books. I'll be doing the live stream tomorrow at 2. Oh yeah, I got no show. So live stream is a go, and we'll see you in the next one.